Good morning. It is the first Monday of the new year, and I have finally managed to reset my sleep schedule. Before this, I was waking up at like 3 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and then the sun would be gone by then. Or the sun would be setting in like an hour later, so I lose all my daylight for filming. But I managed to get up a bit after 8, closer to 9 today. And since it's Monday in the beginning of the month and there's sunshine, oh my God, I have not seen the morning sunshine rays into my kitchen for so long. So I've already gone out and mailed my first order of the year. Thank you, Amy. I'm gonna tidy up the kitchen real quick. It's not bad. Honestly, it's not that bad, but there's like crumbs everywhere. I didn't run a vacuum on the floor. There's like a whole bunch of just stuff on the floor. I just want to tidy it up, and it makes me feel better to get the day started. It's quite disgusting. I don't actually know if you can see any of that because of glare. I've suddenly lost all my light. I think a cloud just went over the sun, so now it's like super dark in here. I'm going to run my RoboVac for the kitchen, and so it can clean the floors over there. While it does that, I'm gonna eat some breakfast. I don't usually eat breakfast anymore because I've been sleeping through it. So usually, actually, lately I've been eating mostly one meal a day. If I do two, it would be like smaller meals. Breakfast is just like I'm asleep for breakfast. Since I've been up for a little bit over an hour now, I'm actually kind of hungry. So we're gonna do oatmeal with persimmons. And then I got a cup of Earl Grey tea here. No coffee today because I've been having coffee for the past 3 or 4 days in a row. And I just know that the caffeine in the coffee is gonna screw me up later. I do not want to go back to being coffee dependent. I think I needed it just to help me get through a really long day after sleeping for only like 4 hours or less, just so I can reset my sleep schedule. I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna do some admin work. Hot tea is so good. So this year is all about going really hard into my business, which means I need to get back into a routine. One that is not only for my art, my business, but also for my personal health. Last night, I kind of created this very simple tracker on my Notion to basically help me with this. I'm gonna try out like a lot of different methods to see which one really works. So last year, I did also try out like this weekly plan, kind of on a sticky note kind of thing. I've also tried my own notepad to do a checklist of things I needed to get done in a day and whatnot, and I will like pre-write these for the next day. A lot of these work for like a week, but then I stopped doing it, and I need something stable that I can just do. So let me share with you what I have in mind right now. So in my Notion, I have an entire page dedicated to my brand stuff. These are all operations stuff. What I actually created is this weekly routine section here. It's essentially just a data table. First row is going to be all of the art stuff that I'm going to be doing. For Sunday, Monday, it's going to be sketchbooking, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to be mostly painting. Thursday, Friday, I've dedicated to production, so like scanning stuff and designing things and creating actual products, or like doing the printing and whatnot. And then Saturday, I've reserved to operations. So that would be like creating descriptions for listings or the names of stuff or figuring out the cost of things or what else I need to purchase and whatnot. Saturdays and Sundays, we're usually out and about somewhere. So I try not to put any like heavy duty things on those days. The next row is gonna be like social media stuff. So like an Instagram post. On Monday, I didn't schedule anything, but if I wanted to post something, I'll post something. I've actually decided like Monday is gonna be video editing for my weekly or bi-weekly vlogs. And then Tuesday, I'm going to post a reel. Wednesday, I'm gonna do a regular post. Thursday, another reel. Friday, another reel. And then Saturday, probably work on a Patreon blog. I think my blogs are gonna be also bi-weekly, so twice a month-ish. Wednesday, I'm also gonna be posting a YouTube video. I'm not necessarily actually editing it. That's gonna be on Mondays and Tuesdays most of the time. And then the last thing on here is actually my workout routine. So Sundays and Saturdays are recovery days. Again, we're usually out and about, so I don't have anything really scheduled for those days. Mondays will be a full body workout. Tuesdays, a low intensity, which is usually like a recovery after a full body. And then Wednesday, upper body, Thursday, lower body, and then another recovery day. So technically I have 4 recovery days and 3 dedicated workout days, but also like production days can be kind of a workout anyways. So I think it's gonna be okay. This is kind of the setup I have right now. I can go in and like check stuff up, and by the end of the week, I can also hit reset and it'll just clear all of it so that I don't have to like reset up any of these each week. I can just go in and just check mark things off and then reset it on its own. So that's the idea that I had for starting like a good routine that is more business focused and also lifestyle focused. If I have any other tasks, I kind of just create them as I go, usually in the calendar view for all my other task stuff, or I just go in and I do it and then just like write about it in my journal. I did not put down journaling as a thing. I kind of just want that to be part of my everyday thing. So either like in the morning or at the end of the night or just in between when I want a break, I'll just start journaling. And then the other thing I need to work on is hydrating. I have my giant Yeti mug right here, so we can try and drink like at least 2 cups of this a day. I don't actually know if that's enough. I don't know how much liquid this holds. Maybe it might be like a 12-ounce thing, but I don't like drinking water, but I know I need to hydrate more. So my goal is to chug 2 of these mugs in a day. So today is mostly chores, and based on my tracker, it's gonna be sketchbook work and video editing. This is what I worked on last night. Some flowers, and I started sketching some like studies of this flower that I took on my walk. I am gonna go on my walk today because it's not rainy. It is a tiny bit windy and quite overcast. It is 11 a.m., so I think I'm gonna do that now. That's the next thing I do. What I also enjoy doing when I go on my walks is actually take photos of the flowers in the neighborhood and use that as my reference photos for my next paintings.
Oh no, my microphone. Come back. It is just past 1. I'm quite cold. It is very gloomy outside. I just spent the past hour plus following up on job applications and applying for a few more. It's cold. I might actually turn on the heater today so I can actually get more stuff done, because I feel like taking a nap, and it's the one thing I'm trying to avoid. It's cold. This blanket is a heated blanket, so it's like warm down here, but it's cold everywhere else, so. Hello, new angle here. Today is Tuesday. I did not make it to my sketchbooking session yesterday. I did my full body workout. I am like extra sore from my legs down because that full body workout I took had a lot of squats and
That was painful because my legs are pretty weak these days. I did finish my video editing, but I haven't made the thumbnails yet, and I need to do like all the description stuff. Today's schedule is painting, posting a reel, and then a low intensity workout, which is really just recovery, so like stretching and going on a walk. I am planning to go on a walk after this quick update. I also just posted my next reel, and I've actually found that using Instagram's Edits app is really easy and really useful because they just save everything for you, right? And all I do is I just create a whole bunch of videos. I can sync it up to an audio that's already pre-accepted by Instagram. And then when I'm ready to post, I just go in and grab that video and post it because it automatically syncs up to Instagram. So I've been doing that for my video editing recently, and it's been helping me like bulk make a bunch of videos so that I can just choose one for the day and go with it. The last thing I need to do today is get some painting done. I don't know what I'm gonna paint. I may actually just do like yesterday's sketchbooking because I know what I want to do there. It's almost 1 a.m. and I ended up falling asleep around 9 earlier today. I didn't get anything done really. What happened is that my body felt so sore and tired from yesterday's workout that I kind of just crashed, and then I decided, well, I might as well just go to sleep, call it a night pretty early, and then just wake up early tomorrow and hopefully feel refreshed to get more things done. But around midnight, I woke up and then I couldn't go back to sleep. So my mind was just like thinking of things, and it came up with a really good idea for the next letter set design. And I did this thing where I like try to like cram it into my mind to make sure I wake up to like remember it. So I do it, but I don't trust myself because I've already forgotten about it multiple times and then re-remembered it in like the past hours. So since I couldn't really sleep, I decided I might as well just get up and like just start painting it, like get it down. And I also got kind of hungry. So I have a block of tofu with, that you can't see. It's got some soy paste and furikake on it, and it's just soft tofu eaten cold, not cooked at all. This is one of my favorite protein snacks. And I also made a cup of tea. It's just chamomile so that if I want to go to sleep later, I'm not affected by the caffeine. But I do love a good chamomile. Oh my god. Just recorded a whole segment and my microphone wasn't even on. I don't know the quality of my camera's microphone right now, but I do know that the mini mic is much better and I was speaking quite softly because usually that's all I need for the mini mic. So let's redo everything. This is what I ended up with last night. And you can see there's some details in there. This is the area for the writing of the stationery. I did leave a portion on the bottom to be mostly dark. That's where the logo is gonna go. And then for memo pads, it's actually just gonna get cut off completely. And what I wanted to do is add a bit more depth and more fleshed out details, because right now it's very abstract. It's mostly brush strokes. And this was inspired by this painting that I did last year called Learn to Rest. And I really love like the details of all the different shades of grass and little flowers sticking up and the gradient between the foreground to the center ground. And then how it darkens back to the background. So I wanted to do something similar and inspired by that with this piece. And I think I still have a bit of work to do to like really flesh out some more details so it doesn't just look like brush strokes. Like there's certain areas that I really like. This top part I really like, but like the sides and the bottom I don't really like yet. So I've been painting on the Meeden watercolor pad ever since I ran out of my arches. It's completely gone. This is just backing board. So I got the Meeden one to see how good it is, to see if maybe I want to just switch brand to something a little bit cheaper. Like I think they're comparable prices, but quality wise, I think they're both really good. Like this is definitely good quality paper. These are blocks, so they are on, like they're glued on the edges and you cut them out once you're done. So this helps stretches the paper so that it doesn't wrinkle once it dries. I really like this particular size because it's really easy to scan, because my flatbed scanner is only an A4, I think. So just slightly bigger than 8.5 by 11. So I can't do anything larger than this, otherwise I can't scan it. I can do photographs of it, but in my experience, I don't have like the right lens for my camera, or like my phone is just not good enough to take a photo. The one thing I have noticed is that, well, you'll notice the Arches uses a black border and it comes off really easily, but with the Meeden one, like, I don't know if you can see this, but there's always like extra stuff that gets left on. With the Arches, it doesn't really matter, it just comes off, I just peel it off. With the Meeden, I find that before I start using the next page, I have to cut off that excess glue on the edges. Otherwise, it'll affect the painting and it'll affect cutting off this next page. It'll just like not be as seamless. So it's my only gripe with this paper so far. It's a fairly small gripe too. Having kind of a chaotic moment right now. Everything's kind of chaotic in my studio, which is this little corner right here. And I just did, oh, by the way, today is, what day is today? Today is Friday. Yesterday was Thursday, and I kept thinking yesterday was Friday. And I kept telling my fiance, oh, today is Friday. And he kept correcting me, no, today is actually Thursday. So today is actually Friday. And what was I going to say? What was it? I already forgot. Oh, I just finished editing a reel to post and then also post on YouTube Shorts and whatnot. This is the year where I like really go ham on the marketing of myself and like being more comfortable creating content and being in front of the camera talking to you guys. So hopefully you guys appreciate it. Hopefully my editing skills gets a little better. Who knows? Oh, look at the chaos of my studio right now. Here, I'll show you. So here I've got the painting that I started working on the other day that is pretty much finished, so I need to process that. I got paintings that I pulled from the wall because I was making a reel, and then this is the painting stuff that I never put away before I started making reels. They're all dry, I'm pretty sure, so it's not gonna stain anything. And then we have like this wonderful mucky water, all the stationery stuff that I pulled out to make the reels, make some content, envelope, a box of envelope that I got yesterday, which I'll talk about in a bit. I got my lunch, some other stuff that I worked on this week. I'm gonna turn these into sticker sheets. I think they're super cute. These guys started out as just practices, like this top view, just practicing, getting used to the paint again, the brush strokes, and just experimenting. And then I started drawing or painting potted plants and like doing these like no outline pottery designs, except for like this one here has more outline, but like this one has no outline on the edges. And I thought they were just super cute, so I'm going to turn these into a sticker sheet. This one kind of failed, like this one just didn't really work out, which is fine. I think I learned some things. I think it looks better on camera than in person, which is strange. So, that's going to be whatever. This is another one that I finished. It's just sitting here. I needed to like scan these in and make more notepads and stuff. I think these were grapes. I got a stack of my notepads, one of each design and stuff that I was gonna film some content with, but never got to. I have been watching Bailey J's vlog, and of course, this guy's charging. I've got some Constant Comet tea, which I don't actually like that much. This box I used to buy from Notebook Therapy. I still have not used their notebook, but I like their box. What I have in here is actually, this is all my stationery for pen pal letter writing. So these are the stationery pages that I made ages ago, like years ago. These are the printout versions because I sent the original to my pen pal already. And these are just the scanned version. And this is the paper that I used to draw. It's laid paper. I do not recommend drawing on these because it's a textured paper and it does not actually take water that well. But if you do like any other material like pencils, it's probably fine. It is very textured though. This one is just bought, I think, from Daiso. It's quite cute, quite plain. And then I have some envelopes from Mozzery. I think that's just from a kit in here. And then this set is from Sakura Dragon. I bought her letter set, which is pretty cute. I wanted these, but I also wanted these for like product research. So there's that. And then I think the rest in here is just like random paper. Oh, another design. This one is from Apple Cheeks, from one of her Patreon rewards. So I printed these on the laid paper. So it's got some texture to it. It's one of those like free digital downloads. You can just print them yourself. And then even the envelope was print yourself, cut yourself. So there's no adhesive up here. But I think this is cute. Like, maybe I should do this for my envelopes. And then some postcards in here that I have purchased, and some of these are Patreon rewards, and then just a whole stack of envelopes apparently. I think these are just from Daiso. Yeah, there's like a Daiso tag right here. Wee, Daiso. But it's kind of expensive to source these from Daiso. So I have to like bulk pack buy. And okay, I'm gonna put you down and we'll talk about the envelopes. So the envelopes, the whole deal with these envelopes, I have made, my stationery designs that you can't see because it's absolutely overblown. So these are all the stationery designs I have. I've made the stickers for them. I've made the little band, the decorative band, and then the last thing I needed was envelopes. Originally, I was just gonna do white, because white is the easiest envelope to source, and it's also the cheapest envelope to source. Otherwise, this starts getting very expensive. The most expensive thing in this letter set is actually the envelopes. So I sourced quite a bit. I ordered samples from different places. Some of them sold like the same envelope, but like at different prices, which is kind of ridiculous because it's the same exact envelope. But one is charging more because they're like, oh, luxury wedding. The other one's like, oh, we just have a whole bunch of them. But then like their samples was really expensive. Like I don't want to pay $3 for a single envelope. I think that's kind of ridiculous. And like, it's only an A2 envelope, so it's fairly small. I got a whole bunch of colors to try and like color match these, like all these greens and this blue. This one, they actually sent me two of the same ones. I actually ordered one that was a lighter purple because I thought it would have matched, I think, the winter woods a little more, because this one's a little more purpley in color, whereas the city and fog is a little more blue in color. So I thought like this wisteria would have matched the city and fog one, but it ended up being a little too blue and too dark. It looks like construction paper. I didn't really like that. And then nothing matched this one, unfortunately. The greens, I got two greens. Olive green, which I had higher hopes for the spring letter set. I need to move you because this angle is not working. Is it better? So the spring letter set, I was thinking this olive green, it looked like it would match really well, but on screen, that's the difference. Whatever you see on screen may not be what you actually end up getting. So this ended up being too olivey. There's too much yellow in here, whereas my letter set, it has more of a blue tinge to it, so I didn't really like it. And then I randomly got this holiday green, thinking, well, maybe, or maybe like I will paint something to like match it. So like this painting here, maybe, sort of, maybe. But I mean, looking at it in person, it is not as good. It is too green. This is like Christmas green, and I don't like Christmas green, so that's not gonna work. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just get gray, because I personally like gray. And I thought, well, this place had a really good gray. It is a pastel gray, 32-pound envelope. It is much lighter than any gray that you'll find off of like Amazon and whatnot. I really like this gray. To compare, this is the white envelope I ended up with. This is the gray. Do you see how subtle? I don't know how you say it. Do you see how like so close those two colors are? And even in person, the gray is just a shade tad darker. Not like intensely darker. Like I was getting envelopes of probably this darker, but also like a warm tone gray. This is very much like a neutrally toned gray. I don't have a good example. I returned it. I didn't like it. But then like, as I was handling this envelope, it's from envelope.com. They have like the more affordable envelopes, and the samples were not bad, like $5 for the cost of like a $3 shipping. But the other day, I was handling them and I realized like the glue that they use for these don't even stick anymore. And this is like a pretty standard envelope. This honestly looks exactly like the envelope that I got, down to like the shape, the cut. It's just that the envelope I got is not a peel and stick versus envelopes.com is. This one is a peel and stick and this one is just like the glue that you put water on, and it's honestly, this is pretty sticky. But like, I don't want to create letter sets and give you guys envelopes that are falling apart already. Like, I don't want to go in and like re-glue them all because that's ridiculous. So I'm not ordering from this company. I don't know how long they've been sitting on their stock and not been going through it, and therefore like their glue has degraded or whatnot. The only one that I like is this yellow. I think it's sunflower yellow. That's the only color I like, and that's for which one? Obviously the daffodils, because it's yellow and it works well. Yellow would be the only envelope I would purchase, but I don't want to go into these letter sets and only have one of them have colored envelopes while the rest is all white. I would have liked like the Springfield to have like a green envelope, and then these other two, I think white works okay with the City with the Fog, but then like the Winter Woods, I would like a light gray for it. That would have been my ideal, but it's not gonna do, because I'm not gonna order from envelopes.com to have like shitty envelopes be sent to me and then send you guys like shitty envelopes at the same time. So instead, I drove 40 minutes to a paper store, a local paper store that I used to shop at before the pandemic. I remember them having like a giant selection of just papers, colored papers, and envelopes, and like fancy paper for invitations and paper for like art printing and whatnot. So I went there, and they have a very small selection these days. And I asked them about it, and they were like, well, ever since the pandemic happened, paper mills have been closing and not recovering. Therefore, thousands of SKUs, and SKUs is like a product, a specific product, or like a specific color of a specific type of envelope will have a single SKU. Thousands of products got removed, and they haven't been able to find a supplier to produce everything. So everything just got reduced. The envelopes they had, white. Just white in different shades. They did offer to order yellow for me because I asked about it, but yellow was really the only other color that they had. I don't know why, but I thought about it, like I went back to the idea, like I don't just want one letter set to have a color while all the others didn't. Instead, I got their box of 250 envelopes for about like $26, which ended up being cheaper than if I had bought it off of Amazon, and the quality of these envelopes are much better. There is like a line down the middle, and I think this is just standard, like because of production. You won't see them when it's just 5 envelopes next to each other. But the biggest thing is that there's no dings on the edges, there's no creases already on there, and then like it's not falling apart, it's all like still together. So these are good quality envelopes. The price is good, which means I don't have to like lose money making these and selling these, or I don't have to like upcharge these letter sets. So all I have left to do today is, let's see, I did my on Sunday, Monday, everything is good. Today is, we just need to do production, so I'm just gonna scan in all the artworks that I have and then start editing them in like Photoshop and prepping the files for print, and maybe do some like test prints to make sure it prints okay. So what I like to do when I'm creating my setup for a photo shoot is consider what elements I want around it. So it's going to be 4x3. So it is a portrait, a longscape, but I also want to make sure I can crop it into a square if I need to, and the artwork itself is still within it. I'm gonna make sure the macro setting is on. I'm gonna move some of this stuff. I'm gonna center the painting to the phone because my phone is cutting off right about here, and that's the edge of the table, so I don't want anything from like beyond the table to show. Therefore, we are centering the painting to the phone, and the phone is cropping like the space on the table. So I'm gonna add in certain elements, make it kind of aesthetic. And how do you make aesthetics? I honestly do not know. I'm flabbergasted. Sometimes I like to make it gritty, sometimes I like to include or introduce angles to make it seem more interesting. Add elements and remove elements. Do I want this? This doesn't really match. What was these? Oh, and then the box of paints. So I like to try and match as closely as I can to the colors I actually used. Turquoise, and I know I did Windsor green, antler blue, marine. And then we're gonna throw in a gouache white because I did use that too. Still centered. I never use the zoom on my phone camera because it will just reduce the quality. Okay, so that's how it looks. That's how it looks. You can see, and I will just take a photo. And if you are interested in the current setup that I have, here it is. I have a boom arm, this boom arm right here, that's connected to that table over there, this black table over here. This is for my DSLR that I was just filming on. And then this boom arm over here is connected to this table right here for my phone. So that's my setup, double dual boom arms. And I actually also have a boom arm base on a table behind me. So in front, behind for this table, and sometimes I am filming this way so that you see this as my backdrop. And that's why this one is here, so that I can mount whichever camera, this one or this one. I just grab this whole thing and just move it, stick it in there. I love these boom arms, honestly. So here's how this one turned out. Oh, you can't see anything. It's so blown out. I'll probably do a printout and you'll see that one better. So this is how one of the first designs turned out. And then the other one was this one here. And I did something a little different here. Instead of having like a rectangular background, because I already painted in so much here, I just decided to only do the lines where it's showing and then not put a rectangular background for the lines. So it is less lines because I lose this much space, but you get to like see the beautiful painting and the brush strokes and whatnot. So hopefully this turns out okay. First print test. Let's see how this turned out. Do I like it or do I not? So what I normally do is I scan it in, I make some adjustments, usually like lights and darks. I did like darken up this area of this particular painting, the bottom part, because when it scanned in, it was actually like very, very light, and I didn't really like that. And then once it's printed out, and then I go and adjust the colors. But we're gonna do our best. And then also I want to see like the edges here. Am I happy with the edges? Am I happy with this light color versus this? I think this is more blue and this is more green. So this entire printout is more blue. So we're gonna add in some more greens and hopefully some more yellow in this one. I might lighten up this background a bit. You can't really see much. I might also try this technique on this one where instead of having a rectangle background for the lines, just like remove that and only do the lines where it's visible. So I think I'm going to try that for this. All right, so I have some sample proofs of the printouts. For these two designs, they're not ever going to be exact. So I just know like it's never going to print these exact colors, especially since the paper quality I'm using is like just slightly thicker than printer paper. So it's not photo paper and it'll never print like photo paper quality. And that's something I always have to accept when I'm making these letter sets and notepads. This is the first one and it basically has like very little editing to it. I did decide to remove the white box behind the lines of this one. And this is the second proof after that. I liked it a bit more, but this one ended up being too blue. Like these blues were like way too saturated in person. So it didn't look very good. And then this one, I think it was like too dark around and then too light in the center. So the second proof here, or I guess this is the third proof here, I adjusted the colors and I liked this color a bit more than this one here. I also removed a few lines from up here, as you can see, because it's like, it was very up there, and part of this is also cut off, so I removed some, so there's some space. It feels better overall in the layout. And then for the green one, I adjusted the colors and made the center a little bit darker, so it brought back some of that color. And then this proof here, I just had a little bit of fun. I thought like, what happens if I like made this background a little darker? And then I did a wacky thing in Photoshop and it came out kind of antique-y, but the printout turned out more brown than I thought. I think it kind of looks cool. It reminds me of Fallout. I've been watching that lately. So I don't know if that may be like a variant that I do, but I want to try and stick with the blue. And then this is the final printout. This one, I went back to this design and adjusted the logo color. I lightened up a bit of the blacks in here so that it's not just like black down there. So the logo color got changed. I reversed it to here and I lightened up the background a little bit because I felt like this one was too blue and this one was just right. These two were just right. For the green one, I think whatever was here was pretty good. So I think I kept most of everything here and didn't change much. I think I changed the saturation just a little bit, but otherwise I was pretty happy with what ended up there and just kept pretty much the same thing. So we're gonna do full production on these two and I'm gonna make the memo pads using these color grades too. So yesterday was a full production day. I recorded some clips here and there, but not the full process because that's a bit too time consuming and it's actually super repetitive. And my little workstation is very cramped, so there's not a lot of like good angles to record good footage, especially with my giant DSLR. So I'm gonna quickly run you guys through everything that I made yesterday and tell you where I'm at. So yesterday I started off scanning all of the artwork that I made for the week. So these two paintings and then all of these that I'm turning to sticker sheets. Got them printed with my trusty beastie printer and then got them cut. I didn't fully clean up. There was some, I always forget to like clean up these little scraps here, but sometimes it's fun to play with. Like this is a cutoff from one of the notepads. Ooh, it's like star paper. Maybe I can turn this into star paper because it's also sealed on the top. This is my current stock storage of like things in progress and all of my notepads. So I printed out the new sticker sheet designs. These are matte finish. And this one, I believe, is 9 large stickers and 8 tiny stickers. I like to maximize the amount of stickers I can get on a single sheet. Makes it kind of more worth it, you know? And then I printed and glued, assembled all the new memo pads. This is one of them. And then this is the other design. So they're all glued, cut, and ready. Nice clean edges. And then I always package like one of them for now, just for show and just for like photography reasons. And if someone like puts in an order, it's like ready to go. So this is what it looks like. All nice and packaged. I also reorganized this so that I can see all my memo pads here. In one production day, I generally only do a set of 4 because you can fit 4 pieces on a single paper, and then I just print like however many these are. It's 40 sheets, so like 40 sheets worth. Got my little freebie stickers, my logo. Down here is what I've been working on for a while. So my letter set designs, I got those 2 printed. And there's 10 sheets in each, so I made 1 set of each. I also got the stickers made for it and printed. These guys, they are matte stickers. And the only thing I didn't do is print these bands to go on the letter set, so it'll look like this when it's finished. And that's because I'm not quite set on like the naming of these designs yet. It's not as like specific or like easy to name. Like this one, City of Fog, that was like the inspiration that I took for it. This one is clearly from Daffodils, so that's how I named that. But for those 2, I don't know what to name them. I kind of came up with like a temporary name, but I'm not like super fond of it, so I have not printed the bands yet. But they will be done at some point. That is all I did for today, and besides reorganizing these things, it does take a lot more time than you think because it's a lot of cutting and a lot of designing. The designing part takes the longest time. So back to our weekly routine. Let's check in on the list. Yesterday we did our production, we did our reels and posted them, posted the YouTube shorts. I skipped the workout, but I did do my stretches, so maybe that sort of counts. I didn't track anything though, so that's that. And then for today, it is going to be operations. We're going to post a Patreon blog and then do some stretches and recovery. That at least I can do. When I say operations though, I did flush this out, so let's open a page. And what I mean by operations is that I'm gonna log any expense receipts, update sales trackers, I'm gonna catch up on like responding to comments and messages, create any real short content if I have anything to create with, and then clean up the studio, plan some projects, photograph the new products if it's ready, and then update or add new listings, update a website, and do some research on like different ideas, any supplies that I can buy, and then like just in general business related knowledge. So that's, for me, that's generally marketing stuff. Honestly, I think I'm gonna end my vlog for this somewhere around here. This vlog has been really about setting a routine and seeing if I can keep up with it. The first week is always the easiest, you know, you plan ideas and you're so excited, everything is new, and you do them as you go. But then like the next week things might change. Like, you don't really know what might happen and just show up in the next week. So next week we'll see if I can continue to keep with this schedule. The hardest part is the workout routine, and I know that's not really like business and art related, but it is physical health, and I do need to make sure I make time for that. Next week we'll see if all of this will happen again as it is. I don't know if I'll change up the vlog or keep this type of recording and talking to the camera. I do want to be more comfortable talking in front of the camera and just expressing what I say here and now instead of writing everything out first and then giving you the the audiobook voice of what's happening in life. This also makes like a longer video because I ramble a lot more. So let me know which style of vlogs you guys like more. I might just switch between the multiple styles that I've been doing depending on what I feel for the week. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you would like to support me further. And then I am still running a sale on my shop of my old collections. Stickers, notepads, and bookmarks. If you would like to grab some, please go check it out on my Etsy shop. These new products that I have shown you in this video will be released in February once I figure out the envelope situation of the letter set and then finish coming up with the namings of it. And then there's a few more products I probably will add to it that you'll probably see in the upcoming weeks. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.